Hello, you're watching VNa's podcast daily from Hanoi. Our latest stories.
Party General Secretary Witten Fu-chok starts his state-level visit to Italy at the invitation of Italian President Giorgio Napolitano. President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner of Argentina meets with Vietnamese leaders to seek ways to increase multilateral ties. Consumer price index in Ho Chi Minh City rises by only 0.44% in January.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng arrived at Siem Pino Military Airport on January 20th local time, starting his state-level visit to Italy at the invitation of Italian President Giorgio Napolitano.
Upon his arrival, Chok visited the Vietnamese embassy in Italy and representatives of the overseas Vietnamese community. He stressed the historical significance of the first visit to Western Europe, which served as an economic, financial, cultural, educational, and science technology hub of Europe and the world. Chok said he hopes the embassy staff will fulfill the tasks assigned by the party, state, and people, serving as the bridge for friendship and cooperation between the two nations. He expressed his hope that overseas Vietnamese will support each other and integrate with the host nation. He wished them and the embassy staff a happy and successful Lunar New Year.
President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner of Argentina said her country wishes to increase comprehensive cooperation with Vietnam. She met with Vietnamese leaders in Hanoi on January 21st during her official visit to Vietnam.
Following an official welcome ceremony at the Presidential Palace in Hanoi, President Trung Tan Sang held talks with the Argentinian president. The two sides discussed and reached agreement on specific measures to increase the efficiency of bilateral cooperation. The two countries will coordinate to organize activities to mark the 40th anniversary of their diplomatic ties this year, while making the full use of existing mechanisms such as the intergovernmental cooperative committees and political consultations between the two foreign ministries. Discussing regional and international issues of mutual concern, the two leaders agreed that Vietnam and Argentina will continue to consult and coordinate with each other at international organizations and multilateral forums. On the day, the visiting president met with Prime Minister Witten Tan Dung. She noted that Argentina wants to particularly step up cooperation with Vietnam in agricultural processing, energy, manufacturing, tannery and leather footwear production. She said she hopes Vietnam will create favorable conditions for Argentinian enterprises to invest in the country. In reply, Dung suggested the two countries increase two-way trade beyond the current level of $1 billion. He affirmed Vietnam's policy to develop bilateral relations in a practical and effective manner. At the meeting with the guest, Chairman of the National Assembly, Witten Sing Hoon, said the National Assembly supports and makes every effort to create conditions for the continuous development of the two countries' ties. Also on the day, a forum to help Vietnamese and 200 Argentinian businesses seek investment opportunities took place in Hanoi. As of late November, two-way trade between the two nations hit $1.01 billion, a year-on-year rise of 3%. The Vietnam-Argentina ties are also considered a foundation for cooperation and investment between the Southern Common Market and ASEAN in particular.
Newly discovered documents relating to Vietnam's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa Archipelago are being exhibited in the central city of Da Nang from January 20th. We find out more.
The exhibition, the largest of its kind to date, includes 125 collections of maps, 3 atlases and 102 books published in Western countries during the 18th and 19th centuries. The documents, originally in English, German, French, Spanish, Italian and Dutch, and translated into Vietnamese, affirm Vietnam's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa archipelagos.
This meaningful event helps young people know more about Hoàng Sa archipelago of our country. We are proud of having Trường Sa and Hoàng Sa archipelagos, and we work together to defend our sacred sovereignty, overseas and islands.
Scientific studies such as Vietnam's Hoàng Sa archipelago through archived documents of the government of the Republic of Vietnam from 1954 to 1975 and documentary films on Vietnam's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa Island District, Da Nang City are also available to visitors. Visitors can see various maps including Hoàng Triều Trực Tỉnh, Địa Dư Toàn Đồ, a Chinese administrative map of provincial boundaries published under the Xiang dynasty. They also have chance to meet those who used to work in Hoàng Sa. Trương Văn Quán is among them.
Exhibitions like this are necessary to introduce historical evidence and documents from the Nguyen dynasty from 1802 to 1945 to prove that Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa are of Vietnam.
The exhibition showcases 3 atlases and 30 of the 150 maps donated by Trần Thắng, a novice Vietnamese in the U.S. They were published in the UK, Germany, Australia, Canada, the US, and Hong Kong from 1626 to 1980. Among the maps, Asia and Southeast Asia commercials and maritime maps depict Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa as lying within Vietnam's territorial waters.
We want visitors to read authentic legal documents to picture how the country exercised its sovereign rights overseas and islands in the past.
The event is scheduled to take place in 1 month.
Consumer Price Index (CPI) in Ho Chi Minh City in January edged up by only 0.44% from December 2012. It is a fairly low rate when the Lunar New Year festival is coming near. The Municipal Statistics Office reported that 8 out of 10 commodity groups measured saw price increasing. The highest rise of 1.43% was recorded in food. Prices of foodstuffs and restaurant services went up 0.17% and 0.09% respectively. Meanwhile, prices of transport, post and telecommunications and other services dropped compared to December 2012. Seen as the country's largest economic hub, the city is aiming for a yearly CPI increase lower than the country's proposed 8% rate in 2013. In the month, the city enjoyed a trade surplus of nearly $649 million, according to the city's statistics office. Accordingly, it raked in $2.65 million from exports and spent nearly $2 million on imports, down 2.9% and 9.9% respectively from last month. However, the city's January export and import was up 42% and 24% from the same period of last year. It aims for an export growth rate of 13.5% this year. Vietnam pledged to work with other ASEAN countries in building the region an attractive destination. Deputy Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism Hồ Anh Tuấn represented Vietnam at the 16th meeting of ASEAN tourism ministers in Vientiane on January 20th.
The meeting of ASEAN ministers was held within the framework of the 32nd ASEAN Tourism Forum. It was attended by ASEAN Secretary-General Lê Luong Minh. The Vietnamese representative hailed tourism cooperation between ASEAN member countries, emphasizing that the field is prioritized by Vietnam. He suggested accelerating promotional activities and intra-regional connectivity to add more value to the group's tourism products. At the meeting, each country's tourism performance in 2012 was reviewed and joint action plans for 2013 were laid out. Participants discussed the implementation of Plan of ASEAN Tourism Strategy for 2011 to 2015 and an agreement on mutual recognition of tourism careers. On the day, the 4th Greater Mekong Sub-Region Tourism Ministerial Meeting took place with the participation of officials of Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam and China, which lie along the river, and representatives from the Asian Development Bank. Delegates agreed that the sub-regional tourism cooperation has reaped positive results in various aspects, including the preservation and management of social effects on cultural and natural heritages. Participants issued a joint statement, affirming to speed up tourism cooperation in the sub-region to alleviate poverty and stimulate growth.
That comes to the end of our news program today. We thank you always for being with us, and please tune in the program throughout the week for more updated news.